What does a fired waiter, a cult TV show, and a pair of identical twins have in common? Meet Nicholas Brendon. And yes, the Pop Tarts are a plot point.
It's Emma, and I'm feeling totally intrigued today. Buckle up, because this one is a roller coaster that starts in a diner and ends in TV legend status.
So, let's talk Nicholas Brendon. If the name rings a bell, it should. He's the American actor best known as Xander Harris on Buffy the Vampire Slayer in the late 90s and early 2000s. He also popped up as Kevin Lynch across multiple seasons of Criminal Minds. He wasn't just an actor, though. He wrote for the Buffy Season 10 comics and co-created a webcomic called Very Bad Koalas, Two Koalas, a vintage Cadillac, total chaos. It's a vibe. He had huge highs, the kind that make you convention famous forever, and very public lows involving addiction, arrests, and health crises. And earlier this year, 2026, he died in his sleep at 54, natural causes according to his family. Tributes poured in from Buffy co-stars like Allison Hannigan, Willow, Sarah Michelle Gellar, the Slayer herself, David Boreanaz, our broody angel, James Marsters, your favorite platinum vampire, and Emma Caulfield, the vengeance demon queen. The love was loud. Let me set the scene with a quick story. Years ago, I was at a comic convention. You know the drill. Lines, lattes, cosplay that puts red carpet gowns to shame. I get seated next to this actor I barely recognized at first. Low-key, super kind. We're talking about career burnout, and he says, listen, sometimes you get shoved off the path you think you want, and that shove saves you. It hit me, because the shove for Nicholas Brendon was so oddly specific. He gets fired from a waiter job for buying the wrong Pop Tarts for coworkers. Yes, frosted breakfast pastry drama. His boss tells him he should be acting. He signs with a manager, and 3 months later he lands Buffy. That pop culture hinge moment changes everything. When you feel like you're circling the drain, totally broke and totally over it, the door that opens might be the one you never meant to knock on. Hismet moment, it's giving fate. Okay, let's unwrap the origin story. Brendon grew up in Los Angeles and had an identical twin, Kelly Donovan. They're 3 minutes apart, which I love as a trivia flex. Around age 7 or 8, he develops a stutter. And for anyone who's dealt with speech issues, the anxiety can be relentless. He got into acting not for fame, but as a workaround. Acting classes let him slow down, breathe, and find rhythm. He did tongue twisters daily. That work eventually turned into advocacy. In 2001, he became honorary chair for National Stuttering Awareness Week with the Stuttering Foundation, using your platform to lift the people who share your struggle. That's a slay. Before Buffy, it was not glamorous. He wanted to be a pro baseball player, then lost the passion in his early 20s. He drifted, studied medicine for a bit, and didn't finish. Did a billion odd jobs: plumber's assistant, veterinary janitor, daycare counselor, waiter, production assistant on Dave's World. He even had a blink and you'll miss it role in Children of the Corn 3, the horror sequel we all pretend we didn't rent. Around the mid-90s, he hits rock bottom. Single, broke, rent due, then the Pop Tarts firing happens. He signs, and 3 months later, he's Xander Harris. And here's the cute twin twist. In Buffy Season 5's The Replacement, the plot splits Xander into two. One confident, one anxious, with Nicholas playing one and Kelly playing the other. That episode is fandom lore, and it's also a metaphor for how your best and worst selves can both be you in the same week. Let's jump to the people orbit. Joss Whedon, who created Buffy, is a writer-director known for sharp dialogue and big genre swings. Brendon once said Xander was based on Joss's high school self, which explains why Xander gets so many killer lines. That collaboration gave us a character who was funny but grounded, the heart guy in a world of superpowers. Brendon shows up in all but one of the show's 144 episodes, near perfect attendance, which is not normal on a 7-season series. Outside Buffy, he swung through Criminal Minds as Kevin Lynch, the nerdy tech foil and love interest, proving again he's good at the human part of genre shows. He kept making art. Indie standout Coherence 2013 is a low-budget sci-fi mind-bend about friends at a dinner party when reality fractures. If you like your movies talky and twisty, that one hits. He also co-created Very Bad Koalas with Steve Loader, an animation director who worked on projects at Disney, two sheltered koalas on the run in a 1958 Cadillac Eldorado. It's absurdist. It's cute. It's proof this man didn't fit in one lane.
Now we have to talk about the hard part, because the timeline gets messy. From 2010 on, addiction, depression, and the law intersected. In 2010, he was tased and arrested in Los Angeles after a call about an intoxicated person. Police alleged he swung at officers. He later pled no contest to misdemeanors and went to rehab for alcohol and sleeping pills. In 2014, he publicly announced rehab again at a fan event in Cleveland, which is brave, honestly. In 2015, there were hotel incidents in Florida with property damage allegations, and later that year, a serious case in Saratoga Springs where he was accused of assaulting a girlfriend. He ultimately pled guilty to misdemeanor criminal mischief in a deal that included counseling and probation and did a 90-day residential program. In 2017, another domestic violence arrest in California, and in 2020, he took a plea that gave him probation, community service, and a 52-week course. In 2021, he was arrested in Indiana for failure to identify an alleged prescription fraud. Police reports mentioned bags with crystal residue and hidden compartments. Those details are from police documents, not a lab result I can cite here, so some of this is allegation heavy, but the pattern is real and it's dark.
Here's my take. Public figures with addiction and mental health struggles live their worst days on camera. That doesn't erase harm, especially in cases involving partners and violence. Accountability is a no-go to skip. But we also have to be honest about relapse cycles, pain management, and how chronic health can turn recovery into a maze. Brendon's spine issues in 2021 were brutal. Cauda equina syndrome, which is nerve compression at the end of the spinal cord. He had surgeries. One punctured the cord and caused a cerebrospinal fluid leak, and after one incident, he reported paralysis in his legs and genitals. Then a heart attack in 2022 and a congenital heart defect diagnosis. Put those pieces together with addiction history and you see feedback loops. Pain, pills, depression, more pain. I'm not defending every choice. I'm saying the story is bigger than a mugshot carousel. And because context matters, he did keep reaching back out. Apologies to fans after missed conventions, return visits to rehab. He talked openly on Dr. Phil, that daytime host who puts messy lives under a microscope, and admitted he wasn't ready the first time, that he'd been drinking. The second time he addressed suicide attempts. You could feel the tug of someone trying and failing and trying again. Big yikes moments, and still the trying. So, what lasts? Buffy does. The show re-engineered teen genre TV. The quips, the metaphors, the monster of the week that's actually your breakup. Xander, the human in the room, was the emotional connective tissue, and Brendon knew that. He even helped write Xander again in the Season 10 comics in 2014. That writer's summit included names like Jane Espenson, a Buffy veteran famous for Razor dialogue, Drew Greenberg, Andrew Chambliss, and Christos Gage. It means he wasn't just doing nostalgia panels, he was shaping canon, and fandom remembers that sort of thing. Conventions kept him beloved. Criminal Minds kept him recognizable to people who never touched a stake. Indie films like Coherence kept him artist credible. Theater kept him present like Lobster Alice with Noah Weil, the ER alum, and the Santaland Diaries in Los Angeles. He worked across lanes even when life outside those sets was a hot mess. If you're a fan, here's a compassionate lens. Celebrate the art, hold the line on harm. Remember the advocate, the stuttering kid who turned syllables into a superpower and then used his microphone in 2001 to tell other kids, "You're not broken." And maybe keep a Pop Tart in your bag as a reminder that the tiny humiliations sometimes set off the biggest glow-ups. Also, yes, the replacement with his twin Kelly Donovan remains an absolute flex of metacasting peak Buffy. Next time, we are diving into 90s fashion trends and why low-rise anything is trying to claw its way back. I have thoughts. So that's the tea, folks. Keep your Pop-Tarts close and your dreams closer. Hide your inner human in a world of monsters. Later.